Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from the Crypto Basic. PayPal and XRP. PayPal has launched Pay with Crypto, enabling U.S. merchants to accept over 100 cryptocurrencies, including XRP. I like the idea of this. The more we get crypto out to the masses, the more people will end up investing in crypto. And this is still early. I think this is going to bring more retail investors into this space. Federal Reserve use of XRP globally, current status and implications. Right now, there's mixed reviews on the Federal Reserve in the XRP community. Some people are deniers. They're like, the Federal Reserve is never going to utilize XRP as far as payments. Then you have other people that see through all of this and realize the Fed has been working with Ripple this entire time. And it shows. Chad Steingraber pointed this out. So Circle is now partnering with FIS Global. FIS is also a user of RippleNet technology. And FIS and Ripple go back years. So in addition to RippleNet integration, FIS has recently partnered with Circle to enable U.S. financial institutions to offer USDC stablecoin payment options to their customers. USDC is also now on the XRP ledger. You see how everything comes full circle. And Smoke points out, Ripple gains indirect access to Federal Reserve infrastructure via FIS integration as a third-party token service provider and SWIFT. Look closely, and you see it documented right here. You know, everybody always talks about Ripple taking over SWIFT. I think it starts with the Fed pushing RippleNet technology. Because once the Fed starts pushing the narrative, the banks will all jump on board one after another. But Ripple has been working with a lot of banks already. I already think the transformation from SWIFT to Ripple has started a long time ago. Banks are looking to partner with Ripple and promote its products following the conclusion of the SEC case. Take a listen to this.
Is the one of the most recent post, which I commented on your LinkedIn, which is this payment systems that you had a session with Ripple. Tell me about it. I mean, like, Paul Zello, Ripple. I was like, how did these two come together?
It's a really good question. And all this blockchain stuff and all of it, I don't get it. I'll be the first to admit it. But I'm trying to understand. My 32-year-old son, who's a bit more savvy to all of this stuff, he put his hard-earned dollars in buying some shares in Ripple. And he doesn't part with his money easily. In fact, he'd rather buy these shares and pay the money he owes back mum and dad, which I wasn't really impressed about, but that's another story. But that sort of made me stand up and take a little bit of notice.
Right.
And again, I'm not an expert on it, but I understand. They approached us some time ago. But at the time, they were battling some legal battle in the US.
Yes.
And our position to them was, look, come back to us once that's sorted out, because you only get one chance at a first impression. And if this court case doesn't go well for you, it wasn't good. So anyway, they got a good result in the US court case. And they approached us again. And look, we're going to have a bit more of a look at it. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on it, but we may look to promote their product. And again, it'll be buyer beware. We'll say to our members, look, here's this new technology. From what I can understand, it can generate real-time transfer of payments. And they seem to have a lot of checks and balances in place. At the briefing that I was at where I did that post, there was a lot of representatives from the major banks that were very interested in it. So it is a real thing.
That's right.
But how that translates to meaningful solutions for our members, we'll only understand that in a bit more time.
So the Ripple vs. SEC case did not just hold Ripple back in the United States, it also held Ripple back in other places in the world as well. But did you take notice? He said a lot of banks are very interested in it, and they might start to promote it once the case is fully wrapped up. The Ripple versus SEC case coming to a complete end, it will lift the suppression off the price of XRP very fast. I think XRP will continue to correct, and I think it will head towards $8 if that case was to be over right now, because that's where XRP should already be, somewhere between $8 and $13. XRP sees increased institutional inflows amid capital rotation and Bitcoin outflows. XRP is regaining momentum with $189 million in institutional inflows last week, surpassing Bitcoin's $175 million in outflows, highlighting a shift in digital asset investment trends. XRP attracted significant institutional capital, outperforming Bitcoin in inflows. You know why? Because people now see beyond Bitcoin. They're not just looking at Bitcoin anymore. And the mainstream media narrative isn't holding up as well as it used to hold up. But we're going to continue to see this happen. And I still believe that could be the reason why they're holding back on the XRP ETF. Maybe they want to get Bitcoin, give Bitcoin a little bit more time. Because I think once the XRP ETFs go live, that's it. The money's going to shift very fast. People say XRP and XDC holders are crazy for believing in 3 or 4 digit prices. Here's what they're missing. If this is truly a financial revolution, then these tokens won't just participate. They'll take over industries. They're here for dominion. XRP isn't aiming for 5% of the $7 to $8 quadrillion in global finance. It's coming for all of it. XDC isn't settling for 5% of the $100 to $500 trillion in trade finance, tokenization and lending, and more. It's coming for the entire flow. And when they take over the market, their price will have to reach 3 or 4 digits just to function. A lot of people believe that the price of these assets are already 4 digits. We're just waiting for them to come out with the set price from the big banks. XDC is no joke. It's a cryptocurrency that's super undervalued right now, and digital trade is about to start gaining a lot of momentum all throughout the world. I see XDC in this run alone hitting at least, I would say, somewhere between $2 and $5. It might even go higher. We really don't know with the institutional money coming and utility driving the price. That's why I always said, you know, people could say what they want, but 3 or 4 digits in these utility-driven cryptocurrencies, it actually makes sense. They have to be at much higher price points. And right away, people would cite, well, what would the market cap have to be? And they start to break out their calculator. What they don't realize is market cap does not matter in crypto. We're not invested in the stock market. Something Mikkel talks about all the time. Spend less time trying to find the next XRP. The next XRP is XRP. Take a listen to the Teucrium CEO.
Coming later on this week, there's a lot going on in cryptocurrencies. Joining me now is Sal Gilberti, the president and CEO of Teucrium Trading. This is an interesting development. You're one of the firms out there that runs a slate of ETFs, but one of them is a levered fund tied to the value of a big cryptocurrency, and that's XRP. Just what can you tell us about how much investor interest there is in XRP and, of course, a levered instrument to it?
Well, thank you, Don. There's enormous interest in XRP. They call it the XRP Army, and I realize they call it that for a reason. We launched this fund. It'll be 16 weeks tomorrow, and the money that's come in is quite extraordinary. Hundreds of millions of dollars have come in. It's our most successful fund. We're 16 years old today when I incorporated the company, coincidentally, and we've never seen a response like that.
How did you make the turn? Because the slate of products you have are mainly agricultural based, and then you decide to venture out into cryptocurrency, specifically XRP. What was the thinking there?
Well, we had filed for Bitcoin before, and we do have crypto interests, and I'm an XRP enthusiast. And when I saw the opportunity to file and get it approved, and really not holding XRP itself, but holding the derivatives so that we could leverage it and give investors what they want. They clearly want some leverage. We got a great ticker, double XRP, XXRP, and it took off. It was a big hit immediately, right out the door.
And if you could put on a forecasting hat, as somebody who looks at the fund flows, looks at the industry, where do you think else in the crypto sphere is ripe for even more activity with regard to cryptocurrencies that's outside the realm of XRP, Ethereum, and of course Bitcoin?
Honestly, I think picking the next coin is harder than people need to catch the wave of what crypto and the blockchain is doing to business. This really is the internet in the 1990s. I think there's a sea change coming, and picking the companies that are going to use whatever cryptocurrency comes next is going to be the big trick, and the trick to big wealth.
Do you think that there is going to...
And this is why you don't continue to look beyond XRP. You already know it's going to be tied in to the new financial system. Same thing could be said about XLM, XDC, HBAR, and so on. These are the cryptocurrencies of the future because they are the future. Everybody always wants to be trying to find the XRP killer. There is no XRP alternative. XRP is what XRP is. It's built to be the world's bridge currency. But did you take notice how he talked about XRP as well and that ETF that they have? And, you know, that's no joke. It's doing way better than they even expected. That's why I said when those ETFs finally do go live, I think the price of XRP is going to change very fast. XRP heading to a price where most people will only be able to afford dust. Expert Zena says $1,000 gives you roughly 330 XRP at only $3. XRP becomes less and less affordable for most people. At $5, it would be dramatically too high for most. They will only have dust of XRP. Unless you are rich already and $5 doesn't make any difference, we are entering those levels where XRP is a pricey investment if you want at least 1,000 XRP. Like I've been telling you this entire time. If you're holding 1,000 XRP in the very near future, you are going to be a legend. Don't listen to these people telling you you need to be holding 100,000 XRP. You need to be holding 50,000 XRP. Most people won't even be able to afford 100 XRP in the very near future. And just wait until it starts to hit those high price points. Retail's going to get priced out very quick. And as they're selling their bags thinking that the price is going to come all the way back down under $1, the institutions are going to be buying it up and locking it away. And the price is going to continue to go higher because demand is also going to be rising at the same time. Expert who asked investors to buy XRP at 10 cents says this XRP DeFi bridge will rally 20x. He's talking about Flare. And I said it in a video just the other day. You should become a Flare whale while the price is still at 2 cents. There's no reason not to have a very decent bag of Flare, because I think Flare is going to pull above $1 in this run. A lot of other people would agree with that. but things are finally starting to move for Flare now. It's starting to get that momentum behind it. And I think the price of it's going to change very quick. I just want to give you all heads up now, because it's like everything in this space. The earlier you get in, the better prices you're going to be paying. You don't want to be the guy buying Flare at a quarter or 50 cents when you could buy it right now for 2 cents. And why not just take the risk with it? If you don't believe in the project, or even if you think it's a scam, whatever, buy the bag, put it aside, forget about it, and look at it a year from now. Look at it maybe 6 months from now, because I think the price of Flare is going to look a lot different by then. And I was telling people the same thing about XRP last year when it was still sitting around 50 cents. I told people, you know, even if you don't like XRP, buy it. Lock it away. It's going to go up in price very soon. And what happened? Now it's sitting above $3. But nobody believed it could get to that price point back then. Everybody's like, man, you're lucky if XRP even makes it above $1 in this run. If we get above $2, I'll be absolutely shocked. Now it's above $3. And it hasn't even started moving yet. Wait until alt season begins. XRP is going to be the biggest shocker in this space. Wait and see. People are way undervaluing it, in my opinion. There's so many people that still cannot see it going above 3 digits. It's going to happen. It's part of the new financial system. Regulations are coming. Once we get clarity, I think the price of XRP is going to change very quick. And if you're still waiting for XRP to dip below $1 to buy in, you are sadly mistaken. It is not going to go back under $1. And until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.